Hello, Gavin Hoey here with the Technique of the Month from Digital Photo Magazine. Now, over the years I've been taking pictures. There's a few pictures I've never quite got right. And one of those is rainbows. I guess it's because when you see a rainbow, it's either just been raining or just about to rain, and rain and cameras tend not to mix very well. Fortunately, Photoshop Elements and Photoshop can create rainbows in just a few seconds, and they can be very, very convincing. And that's what this video is all about, how to make a real looking rainbow. Okay, let's get the layers onto the screen. Come up to Window and choose Layers. And you'll see on our Layers palette here, we have one single layer called Background. Now, to make a rainbow, we need another blank layer. So come up to the word Layer at the top, then choose New and slide across to Layer again. Now you could leave it as the default name, Layer 1, but much better is to give it a name that means something. So we'll call our new layer Rainbow, like that. And there it is. We now have a blank layer called Rainbow. Right, how do you make a rainbow? Well, you need a gradient. And we've got a special tool called the Gradient tool. Here it is on the toolbar. And if I come up to the top, you'll find the word Edit on the options bar. Click on the word Edit and it'll show you the standard gradients that come with Photoshop Elements. Here they are, and one of them looks pretty promising to make a rainbow, doesn't it? This one right here. It's even called Transparent Rainbow. But it makes the least convincing rainbow you'll ever see in your life. Now, if you want to get a really good rainbow, you've got to do just a little bit more work. Come up to the word More and click that instead, and it'll bring up a list of the extra gradients that come shipped with Photoshop and Photoshop Elements as standard, but aren't loaded as standard. Come almost down to the bottom and you'll find a section called Special Effects. Now this is what we want to use, so click on these Special Effects and you'll find you get some new gradients. And it's the one at the end that looks most interesting, this one right here. It's got the attractively named Russell's Rainbow. So click on that one, and that'll load it in, and then click OK. So we've now loaded in the gradient, but we've got to get our gradient to be a nice gentle arc, because normally gradients tend to be linear or straight-lined. To get it as a gentle arc, we need to change the type of gradient. So come back up to the top on the options bar. Second in from the left-hand side, you'll find the radial gradient. Click that, and then draw your gradient in. Now, the position of your gradient is very important, and it can take a couple of goes to get this absolutely right. But for this picture, here's how it works. Find this rock about halfway down on the right-hand side, and drag from there over to the left-hand side, like that. And when you let go, that'll put a rainbow arc complete with rainbow colours into your picture. Now already this is looking pretty good as rainbows go, but it does look more like a child's drawing than an actual rainbow. But stick with me, this will get better, I promise. To get this to look better, we're going to blend it in a couple of different ways. The first way is with a layer blend mode. Now the current layer blend mode is set to normal, but if I click the drop down list, there's a bunch of other options. One of them is called screen, which tends to work very well with this effect. But if you don't like the effect, you could also use the overlay blend mode. But I'm going to stick to screen for today, like that. So straight away that blends it in, because now you can actually see part of the clouds coming through the rainbow. So that looks a lot more realistic. Trouble is, it's a little bit too defined. I mean, real rainbows, when you look at them, tend to be a lot smoother, a lot more sort of blended in. So we're going to blend this in using a filter. Come up to Filter, down to Blur, and choose Gaussian Blur. Now this makes everything nice and blurry, but how much blur should you put in there? Well, a little bit tends not to work so well, so I tend to find somewhere in the region of about 50 pixels is the good point. But it will vary according to the image that you're working on, the size of the rainbow that you've drawn, and to be honest, your own personal taste as well. Okay, so that's kind of made our rainbow look very nice indeed. But you may have noticed the bit down the bottom here, the problem area. Our rainbow not only goes nicely through the sky, but it comes straight down through the foreground as well. Now, that's just not right. That doesn't look good, does it? But because we're working in layers, we've got control over this layer. And one of the things we can control is what we see and what we don't. So if we grab the eraser tool like that, and we get a bigger brush, let's see if we can find a nice soft edged brush, and we really do want a big brush, so yeah, about 800 pixels, perfect. We can just erase away the bits of the picture we don't want, and we can remove them completely. Now, here's a dilemma, because where do you want your rainbow to start? I could have it starting down here in the, well, in the foreground area really, but if I erase away a little bit more, I can have it starting on the hill area like that. It's personal choice, and it will vary from picture to picture, but that looks pretty good. But one extra tip I'm going to give you now to really make these look good is once you've erased it back to the main rainbow, get your eraser tool and drop the opacity down to about 50%, and just erase the edges as well, just to blend it in, because real rainbows aren't a solid and even colour. They will fade across their arc. So I'm just going to put a couple of little bits in here like that, so we just fade out little areas just like that, and I think I'm going to take it up to the edge of that mountain. Brilliant. Okay, so there we are. There is your very own rainbow effect created using Photoshop elements, and it literally just took a few moments.